participants know who will come on live. A doctor will be putting them online and you can ask them. So you have a mix of the questions from YouTube, questions from Zoom chat, question answers, and panelists.
If I'm not wrong, it's Miss Reshma Luthas, right?
Yes, Reshma Lotus.
Lotus. Okay.
Oh, Lotus. Lotus.
Lotus.
Yes.
Dr. Evangeline, ma'am, good evening. Welcome you, ma'am.
Good evening, very good evening to one and all gathered there. Very good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sister. Good
Sister
evening.
Catherine, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Evangeline.
Thank you. Good evening.
Welcome you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
Welcome, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sister.
Ma'am, please one more number, ma'am.
Yes, yes. It is Dawn Whitehead.
Ah, okay.
Dawn Whitehead.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I had done with the
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Ma'am, please check the screen share, ma'am. Evangeline, ma'am.
Yeah, yes.
Two numbers are
Added in the
two
panel.
numbers,
Yeah,
co-host
Dawn
also.
Whitehead is
Co-host
there.
also. Two
Yes,
numbers.
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Visible? Is it visible, ma'am? Hello?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
Not visible.
For audience, it is visible.
No, do you see the screen? Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
okay, fine.
No, okay, ma'am. No, okay.
Okay, fine.
Govindra sir, welcome you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are we doing? Good evening to everyone. Thank you so much. In fact, I was just sending a message to you actually. I don't want to trouble you yet.
Okay,
Thank
no
you.
problem. I identify.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Good evening, sir. Ravi Kaundaraj, sir.
Ma'am, evening, ma'am. Good evening, all of you. Good evening. Thank you so much. Happy evening. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you,
Evening,
sir.
sir. Good
Ma'am,
evening,
evening.
sir.
Evening, ma'am. How are we doing?
We're fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Congrats, ma'am. Have a great session.
Yes, yes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Evangeline, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Adjust
sir.
your video, ma'am. Adjust your video.
Yeah, sure, sure. Is it
Okay,
okay
now.
now? Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Ma'am, welcome. Tahira, ma'am. Welcome, welcome. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sister.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, shall we
Yeah,
begin?
yes, yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yes, Rupa, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Adjust your video, Rupa. Your head is getting cut off. Yeah.
Take time to work. It's the price of success. Take time to think. It's the source of power. Take time to learn. It leads to growth. Take time to play. It's the source of everlasting youth. Take time to read. It's the fountain of wisdom. Take time to love. It's the nourishment of the soul. And take time to share. It's too short a life to be selfish. Take time to dream. It's hitching your wagon to a star. And take time to improve because improvement is better than delayed perfection. A very warm good evening to one and all. I'm Rupa Togru from Talentees. It is my pleasure to be the MC for today. We are on the 5th day of the International Conference on High Impact Teachers for today and tomorrow. Today's discussion will be led by Dr. Evangeline Whitehead on the topic Augmentation of Next Generation Teachers. Dr. Evangeline is an associate professor from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. She has a brilliant academic career as well as an amazing work experience. Let me quickly run you through the agenda for today. Today's program will begin with welcome address by Ms. Reshma Lourthas. Then Dr. S.I. Tahira Banu, Assistant Professor at St. Charles College of Education, will introduce the resource person for today, followed by the prime session from Dr. Evangeline. Audience may post your questions in the question and answer option available in the Zoom chat or in the YouTube comment box. And Dr. Evangeline will try to address as many as possible. To make this session more interactive, some of the audience will be added as panelists at the end of this session. We also have with us Ms. Dharanya, student at St. Charles College of Education, and Ms. Amana Rangarajan, online tutor and e-content developer from Chennai, to give their valuable feedback on the session. And the program will end with a vote of thanks by Ms. Bhagavati Amal. So let's try and stick to the schedule as much as possible. Now, without any further delay, let me call upon Ms. Reshma to deliver the welcome note. Over to you, Reshma.
God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. I thank God Almighty who has given us this wonderful evening. We all have different inspirations, but one goal, a better world. I indeed feel very happy to deliver the welcome address on a 7-day online international conference on behalf of the Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, St. Charles College of Education, Madurai, and Talentis, USA. I deem it as my privilege to welcome you on the 5th day of our conference. It's my pleasure to honor the beautiful audience who are participating in international conference by online platform from all over the world. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. I cheerfully welcome our resource person, Dr. Evangeline Whitehead, Associate Professor, Department of English Language, Prince Nora bint Abdul Rahman University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We are very proud to have you amongst us a resource person for today's session, and your presence delights us. A warm and cordial welcome to you, ma'am. Leaders are made. They are not born. They are made by our effort, which is the price which all of us must pay to achieve any goal that is worthwhile. I heartily welcome our Chief Patron, Honorable Professor N. Panchanadam, Vice Chancellor, TNTU, Chennai. A gracious welcome to you, sir. If your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. A glad welcome to the patrons, respected Reverend Sister Dr. Amali Anbarasi, Provincial EP Chennai and founder of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai. Mr. Pradeep Anthony, co-founder and CEO, Talentis USA. A cordial welcome to you. Every thought you produce, anything you say, any action you do, it bears your signature. A hearty welcome to the co-patrons, Professor Balakrishnan, Registrar, TNTU, Chennai. Reverend Sister Sabina Jose, Secretary of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai, who was always behind our success. Mr. Leo Fernandez, co-founder and CEO, Talentis India. Your presence always motivates us. A genuine welcome to you. All our dream comes true if we have courage to pursue them. A cheerful welcome to the conveners, Professor Govindan, Dean of Faculty, Controller of Examination, TNTU, Chennai. Reverend Sister Mary Catherine, Student Councillor of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai. Ms. Ramona Vishwanathan, Director, Talentis, India. A warm welcome to you all. I have learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. A hearty welcome to the Organizing Secretary, Dr. T. Shivashakti Rajamal, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, TNTU Chennai, who is brain behind the program. Dr. A. Vayadurai, Principal of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai, who is here for us to support and encourage. Ms. Endel De Silvia, Associate Director, Talentees India. Welcome, sir and ma'ams. A gracious welcome to organizing committee members for making every possible contribution for the success of the conference. The future belongs to who are ready to learn new things. A cheerful welcome to all the active and enthusiastic participants without whom the international conference will not achieve its purpose. Thank you once again and welcome you all.
Thank you so much, Ms. Reshma, for the beautiful welcome notes. As we move on to the central part of the program, I invite Dr. S.I. Tahira Banu to introduce Dr. Evangeline. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, said by Steve Jobs. A very good evening to everyone. I'm so pleased to be with you on this great evening to introduce our resource person, Dr. Evangeline Whitehead, Associate Professor, Department of English Language, Princess Nora bin Abdul Rahman University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. She is one of the main proponents of this program who stands out in this field. Her topic, Augmentation of Next Generation Teachers, continues on a path of progress with a remarkable vision. Dr. Evangeline Whitehead is Associate Professor of Education in English. She got her PhD in Education at Periyar University, Salem in 2006. She got her undergraduation and Masters in English at Madras University. She got another 2 master's degree in Public Administration and Masters of Education at Annamalai University. She has obtained her Masters in Counseling and Psychotherapy. She has received her post-graduation Advanced Diploma in English Language Teaching from Norwich Institute for Language Education, Norwich, United Kingdom. She has a brilliant academic career and she has been teaching for the past 23 years. She teaches research methodology, teaching strategies, and English language assessment. She has got 18 years of research and teaching experience in universities, including 10 years of foreign service as associate professor in the Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In the beginning of her service, she served in the well-reputed colleges of education and university departments of education in India. Then she joined as associate professor in the Girls College of Education in Zubair in the University of Imam Abdul Rahman bin Al Faisal University, Dammam. After that, she served as associate professor in the English Language Center of Daif University at Mecca province of Saudi Arabia. She also served as associate professor in English Language Institute of Princess Nora bin Abdul Rahman University at the capital city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. She got Best Teacher Award from the Association of Matriculation Schools and the Managements in Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry in 2002 and 2003. She has got appreciation shields from Saudi universities. She has received Proficiency Award at St. Christopher's College of Education, Chennai during her Bachelor's of Education. She is a certified cognitive behavior therapist and psychologist and student counselor and family counselor. She has published 17 research articles in the highly indexed international journals, including Education Resources Information Center, shortly mentioned ERIC, US, National Department of Education, United States of America. She is a sole author of 17 educational books published in India and abroad. Dr. Evangeline's books are used by almost all colleges of education in India and abroad. She is a life member of commissions, professional and scientific associations, including All India Association of Educational Research and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Association of Language Teachers. She is a recognized authorized guide and supervisor for research scholars of various universities in India and abroad. She is serving as the external examiner for the final evaluation of doctoral thesis of universities of India and abroad, evaluated more than 50 doctoral theses so far, non-stop continuing. She is a certified reviewer for various international journals of research, especially in the Educational Resources Information Center, US Department of Education. She has served as an authorized supervisor for examining and evaluating various theses for the Ministry of Higher Education Scientific Committee of Saudi Arabia. She has supervised 25 research scholars so far, all got awarded degrees. We are indeed privileged to have you, ma'am, for our great session. Thank you once again, and I welcome you to take over the session. Heartily welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much for a very elaborate introduction. I'm pleased. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Now, shall I? Yeah, we put the first slide. We'll move to the.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tahira, for the delightful introduction, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Evangeline. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure too. It's my pleasure also to be a part of this wonderful international conference.
Thank you, ma'am. And I now invite Dr. Evangeline to take charge of the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for this session. First of all, I give my praises to God Almighty. A very good evening to one and all. At the very outset, I would like to thank the organizers of this 7 days international conference on the title High Impact Teachers of Today and Tomorrow. I congratulate the whole team to take initiative and providing a platform for all the learners who really want to enrich their knowledge and keep themselves updated utilizing the times of COVID-19 pandemic. We are connected much more than ever before. In this evening, I would like to talk about different qualities of a teacher of the present scenario and how she should be augmented to the fittest of the teaching profession and to face the challenges in the broad field of education and to educate the present and the next generation learners. Presently, all teachers are in virtual mode of interactive tools supporting them in their virtual classrooms. Before going to the main idea, I would like to flash light on 3 very interesting concepts for a short while and bring you on board. Now I'm really would like to share a few minutes with explaining the 3 major reality materials or tools which are mostly used in the classrooms. The mixed reality, number 1, virtual reality, number 2, and augmented reality, number 3, which takes the place in the virtual classrooms of schools and colleges. Mixed reality. It is a blend of physical and digital worlds, unlocking the links between human, computer, and environment interaction. This new reality is based on advancements in computer vision, graphical processing power, display technology, and input systems. Okay, now graphics. Graphics means we'll really think about director Shankar's movies, but now we use graphics in our classrooms. Virtual images or designs on some surface such as wall, canvas, screen, paper, or a stone to illustrate these materials. So the illustrations and diagrams provide a realistic outline to the text. The science, the health, and engineering fields frequently use these types of graphics to explain or clarify a complex topic. I have made a few graphic slides and used it here in this PPT. The types of graphics are paint programs, presentation graphics software to make flowcharts and pie charts, and animation software, and the engineers are using CAD software, and the beautiful technology of desktop publishing provides full set of word processing features. You can use Studio or Overleaf software for using your desktop publications. Okay. As I talk about graphics, it would be helpful if I mention very few simple graphics tools available in the techno market where teachers can select the best one for making the graphics, images, or videos. The tools are Blender software, Paint tool, it is in the Microsoft, Dia, Canva, which is very important one, and Gravit Designer, DrawPad, Draw.io, Photoshop, Fixer, Inkscape, GIMP, Krista, and so on. Okay. I would like to say something about immersive technology. What is immersive technology? Immersive technology is otherwise called spherical technology, which is an integration of virtual content with the physical environment in a way that allows the viewer to engage naturally with the blended reality. Immersive technology refers to technology that attempts to emulate a physical world through the means of a digital or simulated world by creating a surrounding sensory feeling, thereby creating a sense of immersion. This immersive technology makes a revolutionary impact on education. Technology presents a wonderful opportunity to reshape 21st century education because it's popular with students and teachers. Immersive technology includes virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, holography is a very interesting field, and telepresence, and so on. All these 5 concepts of immersive technology are very, very interesting tools we can use effectively for our teaching learning process that fits to all disciplines to share knowledge to the students or to the learners. Okay, now I would like to show you a virtual video, a small 2 minutes video. Let's glide on a glider, and this glider belongs to Air Force Academy, glider flight 360. Let's glide safely, okay, and then land onto a concept augmentation. Come, let's fly now. Please use your headsets for more sound clarity.
Following runway 3412 is leaving 220 for 13,000. Center Delta 844 is out of 10.5 for 17,000. Delta 844 out of 10.7 for flight level 240. 1272 switching, good day, envoy 3412. 2077, red red, 885. I will take the visual to runway 35, Gulfstream visual taking off.
All right, here we go. Crank it. Woohoo! And we'll pull out of that maneuver. Take some airspeed for altitude. How'd that feel, Austin? Oh, great. Awesome. All right, next we're going to do that loop, okay? We'll get facing west here. Pitch down to 105 knots. Pull the 4G. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. And look up, key down, Austin. Check 70, bringing it on through.
Yes, virtual reality, VR, is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. Instead of viewing a screen in front of them, users get inside, immersed, and able to interact with 3D worlds. Virtual reality 360 VR videos are stunning and captivating ways to share immersive stories, places, and experiences to your students. Users can pan around the video by clicking and dragging. That is a dragging button. You can drag and show the 360-degree views everywhere. In the finished video, the users can free to look around the entire scene or plane in 360-degree. It's a new platform for storytelling. It is invariably matchless for all subjects. Moreover, if a teacher wants to take her students to a virtual tour, this app is very useful. Now let us see another video that is a 1 minute, a 1.5 minutes video. So it's for augmented reality. Yes, this augmented reality video is captured in my living room. So I invited the dinosaur and some puppets in my hall. Okay, this augmented reality is an enhanced version of reality created by the use of technology to overlay digital information on an image of something being viewed through a device. That is, in a layer of reality, some digital information is augmented to give a special view. It's a beautiful blend of virtual and physical world. I used a Vector Air tool here for inviting this dinosaur, and the other one is in my mobile phone itself. It's another tool, it's an inbuilt tool. Okay, there are many more tools to take augmented videos. GigSpace is a very beautiful one. And another one I would like to say is QR coding. QR coding is not taking videos, but QR coding is a wonderful augmented reality application using which you can send n number of learning materials to your learners instead of sending URLs. Why I am telling QR code here, while talking about augmented reality, I would like to add this QR coding benefits also to your students, to your researchers. You can use this augmented tool application. Okay, fine. Now, we are on board. What is augmentation? Augmentation is the noun for any process or amount that makes something bigger or greater. Qualification and experience alone are not sufficient for today's teacher. She must be augmented with multi-skills for her proficiency. Before talking about today and tomorrow's teachers, let us think of today's learners. Tom Herrick, education consultant and author, basically a school teacher, says 21st century kids are being taught by 20th century adults using 19th century curriculum and technologies on an 18th century calendar. He calls it as systemic dilemma. Of course, we all agree with that. People who born between 1960 and 1980 are called digital immigrants. A digital immigrant is a person who was raised prior to the digital age, and these individuals are often in the generation X. They did not grow up with computer or the internet, and so have had to adapt to the new language and practice of digital technologies. Digital age has been started somewhere around 1970s where personal computers were introduced. Okay. People who born between 1980 and 2000 are called digital natives, and the generation of people who grew up in the era of technology, including computers and the internet. Digital natives are comfortable with technology and computers at an early stage and consider technology to be an integral and necessary part of their lives. Okay, Generation Y or millennials were born between 1980 and 1994. Generation Z is the newest generation born between 1996 and 2015. And now our schools and colleges are occupied by this Generation Z. Fine. Okay. Now, our millennial learners are relaxed in the learning environments, and they are very flexible in the learning environments, and they are multimodal learners. They have shorter span of attention. They enjoy informal and stimulating environment all the time. They prefer active learning, and they are good in discovery learning. They are multitasked, and they prefer interaction and collaboration. They are techno-friendly and techno-dependent also. They are driven by instant gratification. Every time we have to appreciate them. Then and they, if you appreciate them, and they'll do better. So they are really instant gratification mooded people. So mostly confident, and they are really confident and achievement oriented. They learn by all five senses and always need on demand training. Okay, when I am talking about these five senses, I would like to bring you a style of learning called VARK learning style. Research on thousands and thousands of classroom observations, Neil D. Fleming and Colin E. Mills came to the conclusion that students have four different learning styles like visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic, and they call it with an acronym of VARK learning styles in the year 1992. So visual learners are who best internalize and synthesize information when it is presented to them in a graphic depiction of meaningful symbols. Auditory or oral learners are more successful when they are given the opportunity to hear information presented to them vocally. And students who work best in the reading writing have a strong learning preference for the writing world, a written word. They prefer handouts and PowerPoint slide presentations as well as written assignments. And these kinesthetic learners are hands-on participatory learners who need to take a physically active role in the learning process in order to achieve their best educational outcomes. Students with these VARK learning styles are called the multimodal learners. To teach these millennial students, the 21st century teacher should be augmented with multiple layers of skills. Importance of professional development. Education is a never-ending process. It doesn't stop after earning a degree, a master's degree or a PhD or so on. So through continuing education, career-minded individuals can constantly improve their skills and become more proficient at their jobs. Before discussing about the augmented skills of 21st century teacher, we shall view what National Education Policy 2020 says about education in general and professional growth of the teachers in particular. This policy is quite positive and pragmatic. The new policy replaces the previous National Education Policy 1986. Still we remember the word Operation Blackboard. And the policy 1986 was modified in the year 1992. Friends, now let us view a short video. Please use your headsets. Hello friends, welcome to this video. This video highlights the core concepts of the most sensational new education policy of India 2020. I am Dr. Evangeline Whitehead, created and presenting this video. National Education Policy 2020 has been launched on 29th July 2020 with an aim to making India a global knowledge superpower. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar and Honorable Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal have announced this National Education Policy 2020. The policy covers Part 1 School Education, Part 2 Higher Education and Part 3 Other Areas of Education to focus. Providing universal access to quality education is the key to India's continued ascent and leadership on the global stage. The pursuit of knowledge, Jnana, wisdom, Pragya, and truth, Satya, are always Indian philosophy and the highest human goal. Fundamental principles of the National Education Policy 2020. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by sensitizing teachers as well as parents. Achieving foundational literacy and numeracy by all students by grade 3 and have multidisciplinary and holistic education. Emphasis on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and to encourage creativity and critical thinking. Promoting multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning and have life skills like communication and teamwork. Focus on regular formative assessment for learning and extensive use of technology. Synergy in curriculum across all levels of education and have full equity and inclusion in education. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system as well as encouragement of community participation. Part 1 School Education. Image, courtesy, National Education Policy 2020. Restructuring school curriculum and pedagogy in a new 5+3+3+4 design. The foundational stage, 3 years in Anganwadi and 2 years in primary school in grades 1 to 2, both together covering ages 3 to 8. Preparatory stage covers grades 3 to 5, covering ages 8 to 11. Middle stage covers grades 6 to 8, covering ages 11 to 14. Secondary stage, grades 9 to 12 in two phases, that is 9 and 10 in the first and 11 and 12 in the second, covering ages 14 to 18. Over 85% of a child's cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. Children need flexible, multifaceted learning. Early childhood care and education. Early childhood care and education covers multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and inquiry-based learning comprising of alphabets, languages, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor play, puzzles and logical thinking, problem solving, drawing, painting and other visual art, craft, drama and puppetry, music and movement. Introduction of coding to be taught from class 6 onwards. 360-degree holistic report card for students, e-content in regional language and Divyam, a friendly education software, will be introduced. Part 2 Higher Education. Quality higher education must aim to develop good, thoughtful, well-rounded and creative individuals. Disciplines include science, social sciences, arts, humanities, languages, as well as professional, technical, and vocational subjects. Replacing UGC and AICTE with the Higher Education Commission of India and open up Indian higher education to foreign countries. Reintroduction of the 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's program with exit options and to offer different designs for master's programs. Light but tight regulation by a single regulator for higher education will be introduced. Part 3. Other key areas of focus. Professional education, agricultural education, adult education and lifelong learning, promotion of Indian languages, arts and culture, use of technology and integration and online and digital education, ensuring equitable use of technology. Importance of teacher education. By the year 2021, a new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education will be formulated by the NCTE in consultation with NCERT based on the principles of National Education Policy 2020. By 2030, the minimum qualification for teaching will be a 4-year integrated B.Ed with a range of content and pedagogy and a strong practicum training. The 2-year B.Ed programs will be intended only for those who have already obtained bachelor's degrees in other specialized subjects. 1-year B.Ed program will be offered only to those who have completed the equivalent of 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's or master's degrees. Continuous Professional Development, shortly called CPD. Each teacher will be expected to participate in at least 50 hours of continuous professional development opportunities every year for their own professional development. Teachers doing outstanding work must be recognized and promoted and give salary raises. A common guiding set of National Professional Standards for Teachers, NPST, will be developed by 2022. There would be a performance appraisal for each stage that would be carried out on a periodic basis. Promotions and salary increases will not occur based on the length of the tenure or seniority, but only on the basis of such appraisals. National Higher Education Regularity Council (NHERC) will function as the common single point regulator for the higher education. Any policy's effectiveness and success depends on its implementation. I am sure our Indian government will make this policy a success. This video is created with an interest to create awareness about the national education policy, the sensational one of this year. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you once again. Thank you, participants. Thank you. I hope this video will be useful to you to understand this National Education Policy 2020. It's a bit long. It covered 9 minutes. But however, maybe it will be useful. Okay. We speak a great deal about 21st century learners and their skills, knowledge, and their learning styles. But we talk less about the qualities of the teachers of this present scenario. Should teachers have 21st century mindsets? Are they lifelong learners? Are they adventurous, innovative, and imaginative? Are they really outsiders to traditional systems of learning? Do we continue to value what teachers know over who they are? If we value who they are, how might we attract these vibrant role models to teaching? I'm trying to answer these questions as a focus on these matters. Our teachers were previously a sage on the stage, but now they are guide by the side and they are facilitators, resource persons, and now they are co-constructors of learning. They are co-constructors. Teacher as a constructivist gives opportunities to her learners to construct their own sense of what is being learned by building internal connection or relationship among the ideas and facts being taught. A constructivist teacher allows her students to take control over the learning. Constructivist classrooms provide learners with opportunities to plan and direct the learning. In a constructivist classroom, the learners are not passive recipients, but they are active participants and the center of interaction. The teacher creates a democratic learning environment. All her activities are designed as interactive and student-centered. She facilitates a process of learning where learners are encouraged to be responsible and autonomous. And constructivist teacher presents problem concepts of emerging relevance to her learners. She focuses structure and promote learning around primary concepts. A constructivist teacher always seek and value learners' ideas. She adapts curriculum and teaching styles to address learners' suppositions. Okay. She makes valuable and standardized assessments on her learners' learning and gets effective feedback. Now, she is another, another character is she is networked. She is a networked facilitator. A network facilitator fluidly moves between the physical and virtual networks to communicate, collaborate, and share ideas, data strategies, and information. She is learner-centered and knowledge-centered, supports development to technical and pedagogical content knowledge in context of the needs of the learner. She creates a congenial environment in her classrooms where creativity flourishes. She changes and challenges in creating a learning environment where her learners feel safe to share novel ideas. She promotes flipped and blended learning in her classrooms. And she promotes collaborative learning by sharing experiences in teaching and provides effective peer critique of pedagogy and assessment practices. If you see the graphical image, you could find the different talents of a networked facilitator. She is thorough in computer and mobile operations, expert in printing, copying, and photo sharing. She makes YouTube, podcast streaming, and this YouTube live streaming or recorded and everything. And skillful in all digital resources, good in social network, and so on. She uses learning management systems, and the list continues. She learned more new technologies. I suggest there is one tool called lynda.com for the teachers to learn more about the using tools, the way of using tools in the classrooms. And she is a synchronous teacher and an asynchronous instructor. She has real-time instructions and interactions with the students online. She gets instant feedbacks, answers, acknowledgements, and questions from her learners. She is more connected, almost like face-to-face interactions. She establishes a sense of community, communication, and interpersonal participations. She uses audio tools, chat, broadcasting tools, interactive multimedia, phone, WhatsApp, podcast, slideshows, then teleconference, video conference, webcast, everything. And she is a good asynchronous teacher also. She creates platforms by allowing her students to learn in their own pace, sending effective materials to them. She uses Moodle platforms to educate her learners. She uses interactive teaching methods like, as I said, the collaborative sessions, gamification, case studies, role plays, video lectures, social media, and everything. And she uses Edpuzzle, a very interesting one, Padlet, Whiteboard, Fi, and Wakelet. All these things are very interesting tools for having an interaction in the classrooms. And she is a pulling teacher. That is, she pulls the students to her classrooms. This is a word called push and pull teaching models. We still talk about traditional method of teaching. As we all know, traditional methods of teaching, the pushing methods went off long back. I'm sure the present teachers are not pushy salespersons anymore. They are using pull dynamics in their physical and virtual classrooms as well. If we look back, Operation Blackboard scheme in 1986 introduced attractive learning aids to the school students. And again, that Sarva Siksha Bing, and you hope you remember all these words, in 2001 brought universal primary education, introduced active learning. And one time in 90s, I guess, ABL system, activity-based learning, and ALM, activity learning methods. Okay, these things were introduced. Do you remember all teachers were given dance practice one time? When I was a principal in a college in Tamil Nadu, the DUOs used to call all the teachers every Saturdays, and they gave dance practice to teachers, the language teachers and others teachers. Yes, the government is doing everything. So there is no point in talking about traditional method of teaching. How to engage school students in online teaching? You can use gamification tools. There are school teachers and young mothers burdened very much on developing reading habits to their children. I do remember in those days, I used to make a big fight with my cousins for comics books. I used to have more than 1,000 comics books. We were in real-time reading habits, but our parents never insisted us to read. But now, everything has changed to another dimension. To make your school children read, make short comics using in Pixton app. There are many apps, but I suggest this Pixton app. It's a very interesting app. You can make comics, short comic stories. Whatever you want to say to your students, you can make it in this Pixton. And there are n number of templates and characters available in it, and you can create your own comics and make your children read. There is always a pleasure in doing these things for our children, for our learners. Apart from making, use reading rockets is another tool. You can introduce this tool to your students to read. I'm talking about the school children. And reading eggs tool. It's also a wonderful tool for reading. And there are many more tools for all the skills in the school level. It's all in the hands of the teachers and their passion in teaching. Yes, digital teachers must be augmented with pulling methods of teaching. They empower the learners to identify what they need to learn and better understand what they learn. For school teachers, of course, I'm coming back for college people also. I would like to suggest 3 important platforms called Diksha platform. It is a national digital platform, offers engaging learning materials relevant to the prescribed school curriculum to the school teachers, students, and their parents. So worksheets and enjoyable classroom activities are provided there. This is Diksha, and another one is the National Repository of Open Educational Resources, shortly acronymed as NROER. It's a collaborative platform which brings together everyone who are interested in school and teaching education, teacher education. And another one is ePathshala. This ePathshala is a repository of National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT, exclusively made for school students, and it can be downloaded in your smartphones for easy access. So these things school teachers can use. Okay, next thing is our teachers should be augmented with emotional intelligence. An effective teacher must not only be a master of his subject matter, but can understand his students well and transacts the curriculum as per the needs and interests of his students. Okay, self-esteem and confidence. Self-esteem refers to our acceptance of ourselves and the value we place on ourselves. The word esteem means to regard highly or favorably. When I apply esteem to myself, then I regard myself highly. When it is low, I regard myself lowly. It's our overall evaluation of ourselves as human beings. Most of the time, we confuse self-esteem with humbleness. Okay. So yesterday also I was watching one gentle teacher as the teachers were not respected. No, not at all. My dear gentlemen, I hope you are still listening to my lecture now. Teachers are really, really welcomed everywhere. They are the most respected people in this world. Definitely, we must be humble and polite. It doesn't matter that how much we are polite, but we should believe God and we should believe ourselves. No doubt. But when challenges comes, we shouldn't be discouraged. Our heroine or hero, the augmented facilitator, is clear in this concept. She feels very confident about getting up stage to perform. She feels confident regarding her work skills. The next one is stress management. How to manage this? How to manage my stress? Today, stress comes from all the sides. Workplace conflicts such as differences in opinions, backgrounds, and personalities. The increased level of stress also plays a major role. It shatters the workplace relationships. Everyone will understand and agree with me. And undermining the overall culture, okay, in the departments, in our society, in the house, everywhere. We get stress and fear about epidemic and pandemic diseases, of course. Family issues cause stress. We cannot expect a stress-free life all the time. Life is full of stress. I would like to share my experience, which may perhaps lead you to understand the concept clearly. In the year 2013, the vacation holidays started in June at Saudi Arabia, and I prepared to come to Chennai. It was a traveling season, and my university, Imam bin Faisal Abdul Rahman University, that time it was named University of Dammam, gave a round trip ticket to Sri Lankan Airways. We were all used to be in a hurry to pack and purchase with overjoy. I was alone, worked for all the years without my family, and my joy found no bounds to come back home every time. I was very much excited to see all my family. There was another beautiful reason for my joy to come home at that time. In June 2013, there was an international conference conducted by Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, and I was invited to felicitate the conference by the most respected Professor G. Vishwanathan, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of that period in Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Okay, it was a great opportunity. I prepared well for that conference, and it was a great pleasure also indeed. Fine. Due to some technical issues, my vacation salary package was delayed at that time. I had carried out all necessary matters and started. Somehow, I managed to reach the Dammam airport with only 350 riyals as cash in my pocket. I had Indian rupees, of course, but of no use there. Okay, there was a terrible sandstorm on that day, and it was very challenging to reach the airport. From Jubail to Dammam, we should travel for at least 1.5 hours. So we managed to reach the airport. I was in a long queue to check in, and to my unpleasant surprise, my luggage exceeded to the permitted limit. I was asked to pay 335 riyals. Happily, I paid that, because I had 350 riyals, and then I received my boarding pass. After check-in, with relaxed mood, I had a good coffee for another 10 riyals, and I reached my final boarding gate with only 5 riyals. The flight was on time. I was on board at 10 p.m. and the takeoff was supposed to be at 10:20 night. I called my family and I said I was on board and put my mobile off in flight mode, and I was waiting for a takeoff. Fine. 10:20 crossed, 10:30 crossed, 11 crossed, 11:30 crossed, 11:40 crossed, 12 o'clock crossed. There was no movement. Finally, at 12:30, we were announced for a takeoff. Okay, the flight took a reverse to go on the runway. The flight started to run fast on the runway, about to climb. Okay, it was on the runway very fast, about to climb up. There was a huge sound happened inside the craft, and the lights were put off. Flight reduced its speed and gradually stopped. And it was not a tabletop runway, thankfully. Somehow the pilot stopped the craft after taking a long runway. We were announced that the engine got fired due to heavy sandstorm. Okay, as the pilots managed to stop the craft, they prevented a great disaster. We were on the runway and very far from the airport. On fire engines were approaching the craft around, but we were not allowed to get down. Outside, there was a terrible sandstorm. We were all panicked, and there was a big hue and cry inside the craft. I was totally panicked and collapsed. It was so horrible to see the other fellow passengers. I called my son alone. I didn't call my parents. They were very aged and they were sleeping at the time. So I called my son alone and informed the situation with a lot of tears. Then I lost all my hopes of reaching and seeing my family. I started crying. I must really appreciate the Y and Z generation. With raised voice, my son controlled me, said, "Mom, stop crying, be bold and face the situation. First come out of your fear, pray, pray, pray. Everything is under control. Pray. Presently, you are now saved. Now you are in the craft. The craft is okay now. So now at present, at this moment, you are safe. So pray and praise God for that. Just pray. Nothing was under my control, my dears. But my son scolded me to pray, and I started praying. He didn't say anything to anyone in the family, but he was restless and sleepless. He kept on calling me to know the situation. But after some time, my faith on God raised up, and with confidence, I started praying silently. The craft people tried a long time to correct the engine, keeping all of us inside. That was really stressful and fearful. I just prayed God that they shouldn't correct the engine. I prayed like that. Really, they shouldn't correct the engine and I shouldn't travel in the same flight. This was the thing I prayed at the time. I were in the same condition up to 3 o'clock morning, in the early morning, and they couldn't correct the engine. I was praying, sitting inside and praying, see this, they shouldn't succeed in their attempt. Of course, they didn't succeed. And at 6 o'clock, we were taken to hotels. And of course, I really enjoyed the hospitality of the Sri Lankan aircrafts. And then and that night, the next day night at 7 o'clock again, we started our travel in another flight, came from London especially. And this flight, the particular craft was still there in the airport. Then I reached the Colombo Bandaranaike airport, spent almost 10 hours there. And then I arrived, finally, the third day I arrived Anna International Airport, Chennai, on the third day with 5 reals. It was obvious. I had a great reception in the airport arranged by my son, and only a music band was missing, of course. And then it was a really very great emotional moments. Yes, even in the any critical situation, we should be calm. Yes. And then I felicitated in the Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University Conference 2013. June 21st to 23rd, and it was a grand success as usual. You people always rock. And I'll show you the sandstorm. It's only a 20 seconds or 30 seconds video. Please bear with me. And it is captured in my mobile. There were much more sandstorms. I just captured this.
ظلام.
Am I audible to you all? Are you following me? Can anyone say?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Oh, fine. We have effective stress management, fear management skills with us. We are inbuilt with wonderful stress management abilities, but we don't realize it. When time comes, we'll realize it. I pray God you shouldn't get that time like the one happened to me. Fine. Little counseling will make it brighten. We can come up and prevent such distractions. And if we build teamwork and sharing, we can make ourselves free of stress and make everyone's life easier and fun. The augmented teacher will pack panic. Yes, she will pack panic and throw it away. As like corporate people, our departments, our university departments or college departments, office staff rooms can have relaxed activities like going out and talk and eat outside, and these kind of things can, and they can have the potluck, and there are many more cheerful items. You can have it at least once in a month. These corporate people are very prompt in this, so we should also do that. Okay, then life and career skills. Our facilitator is augmented with assertion skills, maintains good communication in personal and work relationships, and she has the ability to quickly establish and maintain effective interpersonal relationships. She has ability to manage anxiety and improve performance under pressure. She has ability to understand and accept differences in others and diversity issues. She has good decision-making skills, that she is capable of planning, formulating, and implementing effective problem-solving procedures and in stressful situations. She has an admirable leadership quality as an ability to positively impact, persuade, and influence others. She has a driving strength to direct energy and motivation to accomplish personally meaningful goals. She is augmented with excellent time management skills to meet the goals and assessments. And she maintains good commitment ethics, as she is able to complete tasks and responsibilities in a timely and dependable manner. More than anything, she has a good anger management to control and manage anger with improved performance under stressful conditions and situations. Anger issues in the online classroom. Okay, not only in the online classroom, anger issues are there everywhere in the classroom sometimes. We all can agree that we live in an angry society. We encounter anger seeping out all over in politics, in religion, in families, media, suppose, sports, everywhere. And certainly the educational arena is not an exception. We have angry moments in the education departments also. So understand your learners. When it comes in the classroom, when it arises, when it happens, try to be calm and understand your learners. Try to understand, accept learners' moods, emotions, drives, strengths, and their shortcomings, as well as to see how these affect their learning and behavior, and act accordingly. And don't take anything personally. Whatever happens in the classroom is a casual thing. Don't take it personally, and keep it in mind that the misbehavior may be happened by factors beyond their control, such as stress, sickness, problems in home, and that you are not aware of. So be calm and handle issues. And it is very crucial that you have to be calm all the time. This is very difficult, but if you start shouting and losing your temper, that will escalate the situation. Be cautious about your body language. Avoid crossing your arms and clenching your fingers or placing hands on your hips. All these things will make the students irritating, and is also not good. And use positive communication. Always be respectful in your communication. Try opening the conversation with a positive statement, but don't try to have a conversation with the learner until she is calm. Okay, create a safe setting. If possible, handle the situation outside the classroom. It is important to avoid a private setting also. And compassionate mentoring plays an important role in guiding students towards consciousness about rage, sustaining, and the focus on rage and dealing with the emotional fallout from it. The teacher, the facilitator knows how to manage her emotions. She overjoy in one side and over anger in another side is not good. So be in the middle. She finds the ways to handle fears and anxieties, angers and sadness also. In the malls, the shoppers have eye trackers to access the psychology of their customers. I would say teachers' eyes are the trackers, more powerful than any electronic devices to track the emotions and the interests of the learners in the regular classrooms. Okay, how can I do it in the virtual classrooms now? There are possibilities. In the virtual classrooms also, it is possible with special laptop tools providing your learners must, but the thing is they should switch on their videos. There are tools to track their emotions online also. It's a it's a vast area, another area it needs more than 10 days to talk about. Fine, then limbic system. Limbic system is the seat of emotions in the human brain. Amygdala, that is the position or seat in the brain or a spot in the brain which controls the emotions. And the limbic system is a set of structures in the brain that deals with emotions and memory. It regulates autonomic or endocrine function in response to emotional stimuli and also is involved in reinforcing behavior of a human being. Limbic system management is a vast and special area, and nowadays it is very popular among educators. And the facilitator with emotional intelligence can efficiently use the limbic system of students to address cortex educational messages. She can turn into a standard and a pattern. I strongly suggest there must be a clear training to be given to all our teachers in all sectors to deal with emotions of students with a thorough knowledge about limbic system and its functions and to effectively handle the learners. It's a vast and interesting area and a need of the hour. Then comes social and interpersonal skills. When come to interpersonal skills, a facilitator needs to master her communication skills. So it is a very, very important one. And it always noticed and appreciated by everyone. A born baby first listen to his sound, his mom's voice and dad's voice and other sounds. So listening is the first skill the baby takes up. Then he starts speaking and he gets the second skill of speaking. Then he goes to the school and starts reading alphabets, words, and sentences. And the supreme skill is the skill of writing comes finally. In this way, he learns his mother tongue and very fluent in all the 4 LSRW skills. But when it comes to learning a second language, the process of acquiring skills are completely upside down. Learners first read and write and they ignore listening and speaking. That is the reason people struggle in learning a second language and struggle in speaking a second language. A good teacher always listens first. Set your mind to listen others. Nowadays, I don't find listening habits among people. So first cultivate your listening habit. Okay, if you watch minutely the present society, they lost all listening skills. When you say something, when you give a short advice, they are restless to hear it. So they listen to their smartphones. So good communication is the key for all success. So my augmented teacher has an efficient communication. And also non-verbal communication is another best skill for a teacher. Augmented teacher has the ability to build rapport with various sections of the society and create networks of people. A teacher with good emotional intelligence manages herself with the self-instigations, build up good self-inducements and daring of ventures to face the daring of ventures, not to be discouraged. And she manages with others getting along with them. Also, she manages her career building up her own fame and reputation. The next comes counselor role, teacher in a counselor role. We still remember of school teachers, our school teachers and our college professors. When we talk about them in our gatherings, we made them so special. What made them so special? You still have a place in your heart for them. Only because they taught you well. Of course, they taught you well. but fondly you think of them for their supportive behavior on the empathetic ear that lent to you. The best teacher has these two qualities. They have a supportive behavior, and they were attentive to what you said to them. So these were the two qualities of our teachers. Learners spend their complete growing years in schools and colleges with their teachers, and their teachers have a significant role to play in shaping the personality of their students. We have a general opinion that counselors are needed for students with complicated issues. Special trained counselor recruitment is very common in Western countries, but teachers are the primary source of on-campus support of a student. Teachers, as a counselor, develops rapport with her students, and this is the first quality of an excellent teacher. She makes a student feel comfortable in her presence, at ease, and to make them talk, to come up with their own problems. And also she uses nonverbal communications. She listens to her students carefully and does not interpret the flow of thought. By paraphrasing, she provides clarity to her students' thoughts. Instead of providing ready-made solutions on the spot, she makes her student think about the ways to overcome the problem. Yeah, teachers with great counseling skills have a high level of integrity and trustworthy for her students to share their most troubling issues. She never shares it with anyone, or she never gossips in the departments. She has active listening skills, shows genuine interest in what a student is telling her. They have a good practice of self-control, show patience, and supportive body language responding to the student's cues. Non-judgment attitude. She views her student in an objective manner without any personal bias based on the academic records or personality. So non-judgmental attitude is a very important skill for a teacher. She understands the issue from the student's perspective, and she is very empathetic and exploratory. She also has the skills to develop the conversation to make the student come out completely to find a solution. And she maintains complete confidentiality. She makes her student understand that the information will remain confidential and not to be disclosed to anyone. However, if the issue is shared or harmful, then she should inform that matter to her management. She also recommends for cognitive behavior therapy wherever it is required. Then the final skill is research skills. Research augmentation is an important and inevitable aspect of a present teacher. The research fire should be there in the minds of all teachers who like career growth. Developing effective skills do not happen overnight. We have to put your hard work till the retirement and even after. Research is a group activity today. We have institutional rating and as a researcher, and we have individual rating as well. Your institution's rating increases with your individual rating. How many A+ papers you have, how many Scopus and Web of Science papers you have, how many citations you have, and what is your H index, what is your I-10 index, all these things, all decides your rating in research, which automatically reflects in your institutional rating also. Okay, so develop an inquiring mind. An inquiring mind is a key skill in the changing and challenging world. The teacher with an inquiring mind always goes beyond the subject matter and tries to look at the bigger picture. People with an inquiring mind are always on the lookout for new knowledge, interested in new developments, new ideas, insights, and perspective. As a teacher, it is important to engage with the thriving academic and scientific community as much as she can. Attend conferences, seminars, workshops for teachers wherever possible in order to develop expertise in your field. Academic writing. This is another issue. Yes, as researchers, we spend years of our life building our research. But when it comes to academic research writing, many of us still struggle. Effective research writing is one of the crucial steps in getting your paper accepted. You may have done a very effective and useful research, but an excellent research communication, that is a research writing, only will reach your readers' community. The readers should be able to take away concepts from your research that they can further build on. How to write a good research writing? There is only one idea from my side. From Jane Austen period and John Milton's period, there is one age-old advice that still works. That is, write 1,000 words a day. But I don't know how far it is possible, but this is the only key. Practice makes a man perfect. Just write everything you know about your topic of research. And this allows your brain to get comfortable with the writing process. With practice, you will find better ways to express your ideas and concepts. Okay, the planning. You have to plan, brainstorm your concepts and ideas, use graphic organizers, plan and outline, and write a rough draft. And revise, recognize with refining your choices, rearrange the paragraphs, rearrange the words, everything, and rewrite with additional information. In the editing stage, do self-assessment and peer edit. Give your paper to your peers and make a proofread. Get it selected and published. You have to do this peer reviews. Of course, we have trust issues and ego issues in the competitive world. I agree with that 100%. But choose trustworthy people inside or outside the department and do your peer review. And I would suggest one particular app called typeset.io. If you have a pen, please note it down. It is typeset.io. It will definitely help you to write your research writings. It is a real good tool. Then library resources. Collect as many resources as possible in your research area. There are two major reasons for getting references. To show your reader you have done proper research by listing sources you use to get your information. And the second point is, as a responsible scholar, you give credit to other researchers and acknowledging their ideas. Referencing helps you to be thorough and rigorous in your research work. It helps you to be different from others' works, exhibits your originality. Okay, I'm here, would like to talk about one word about these matters. That is the eGangosh. It is a national digital repository. It is a repository of IGNO, copyrighted. So you can access this with the procedures. And the other one is National Digital Library of India. That is it's a MHRD product, and under a national mission on education through information and communication technology has initiated the National Digital Library of India. It is a virtual repository with a single window search facility. Then another one is Shoot Ganga at InflibNet. It is an open source digital repository called DSpace, developed by Massachusetts Institute of Technology in partnership with Hewlett Packard. So you can use this. The Shoot Ganga is really very good. And Shoot Sindhu, it's another one. It has more than 10,000 core and peer reviewed journals and number of bibliographic citations and factual databases in different disciplines from a large number of publishers, universities, and colleges. The other one is Shudhi. This is for this plagiarism check matter, and we know all that this Urkund web-based plagiarism detection software system, which is provided to all universities of India as an official plagiarism detection software launched by the Minister of Education. Fine. I have some scientific matters, citation databases. That is Google Scholar, Vidwan, ORCID, ResearchGate, Scopus, Web of Science, Pabloons, and so on. Keep referring Gray literature. It is another one. It's really a useful one. Gray literature, that is non-academic databases also. Grey literature is materials and research produced by the organizations outside of the traditional commercial or academic publishing and distribution channels. A common grey literature publication types includes reports, working papers, government documents, newspapers, and evaluations. You can use Mendeley desktop tool. It's a very, very effective tool, very useful tool for the researchers to download your materials. You can use effectively where you can access the web version of your digital library resources and many more. So you use this Mendeley desktop tool. It's very interesting and very, very useful one. Okay, finally, I would like to give a few tips for a high quality to publish in high quality journals. Throughout the world, recruitments are based on your research publications. So you have to be very strong in your research publication. Keep UGC guidelines in your folder for latest information regarding professional development. Be cautious about the annual self-assessment for the performance-based appraisal system of your university or of your college everywhere. And have another guidelines in your folders. Have the top 10 research journals always in your focus. While selecting a topic, select the most sensational ones. Don't select the topics which have been told 100 times already. Explore the unexplored area. Keep novelty in your research. Desk rejections are based on the topics of originality. So be careful in setting your title. Title should be very clear and catchy, and it should be in terms of your variables, and it should not exceed 20 words maximum, to the maximum. A book cannot be judged by its cover, I agree, but the title will judge your paper. So check for submission deadlines and schedule your time accordingly. If you target special editions, then you have to push yourself. Yes. Then have systematic literature review that you can refer up to year 1991. And that is systematic. If you make systematic review literature, then you can go up to 1991, or you have to be within 2016. Recent reviews shouldn't go beyond 2016. If it is really required, you can use 1 or 2 citations, but avoid jargons everywhere. A plan for a well-defined research strategy and methodology. Techniques are always appreciated by the reviewers. Be adaptive to new methods. Start with the methodology and data analysis section. Don't write your introduction first. Start with methodology and data analysis. That is my practice. Then do your conclusion, implications, and limitations. And finally, write your abstract and introduction. And this conclusion and abstract shouldn't be the same, and do not cite in this abstract. And use diagrams with high resolution. If your paper is rejected, don't get upset. Sincerely work on the reviews commented for rejection. Don't be very stubborn in presenting the same paper to the same journal again and again. And use RStudio presently for your statistical part. Of course, SPSS package is there, but I do this RStudio. It's very useful. This diagram shows the enrollment of PhD in 10 major disciplines of various universities in India between the academic year 2010-2011 and 2017 and 2018. Department of Education occupies 8th position in the list, and only 5% of the enrollment happened in the Department of Education in these 8 years. Teachers of other disciplines can check your status in the pie diagram. In the professional development, research activities are the need of the hour, my dear friends. I agree. We have lots and loads of work pressure. We are burdened with official and personal responsibilities, but we have to be adaptive and fit to the changes happening around us. We have to be augmented with all required skills. If we don't find our place in the competitive world, we will be outdated and we will be rejected. Cheer up, always cheer up and raise up, guys. You have to raise up. You have potentiality. As I come to the end of my session, as usual, I would like to tell you a small story. It is a fish story, not an eagle story. This is a fish story. In Japan, there is one tasty fish called shrimp green fin tuna, which is very, very popular. As this fish is extremely high in taste and have great demands, fishermen used to transport this fish from one place to other where there are high demands for this fish. In a particular time, this fish was exported to a place of distance in a ship. Customers paid highest rates and purchased it. But to the fish liker's disappointment, the fish was not very tasty as expected. The customers paid high rates and they made a huge complaint about this taste. And the Japanese fishermen, as they are very good in technology, decided to transfer the fish alive the next time. So they brought big containers with water and let this chum tuna alive inside and guaranteed for its best taste this time, because all fish came alive this time, so they guaranteed for its taste. Now the customers paid expensive rates again and brought this fish. Oh, what happened? This time also the taste is very poor. People were very disappointed this time also. The fishermen were much worried about it. The third time, the fishermen put the same seawater where this chum tuna lives. First time they put some other water, and this time they put the same seawater where this chum tuna lives and transported it alive. Now they have very high hopes. They guarantee that this time the attempt wouldn't be failed. Unexpectedly, this time also the expected taste was not there. Now the fishermen were really very upset and they were in a danger losing their business. They really didn't know what to do and they traveled a long way every time to make a good business. At this point, one experienced fisherman came with an idea. There is one particular variety of fish, a predator fish, always eat this chum tuna. The old man advised the exporters to put one predator fish in every container and transport this time. The exporters were confused, but they have no other options. So they followed the old man's advice. They put the predator fish in every container and exported this time. Wow, what happened? What a magic happened this time. The fish is extremely tasty this time than usual, and the customers were very, very happy and satisfied. Okay, what happened this time? Previously, the fish was very lazy in the container, enjoyed the easy way of life and safe swimming and easy food inside the container. But now there is a life threat inside the container and the fish has to escape from the predator fish every time. In the act of escaping from the predator and to safeguard its own life, all the fish actively swim and swim and swim always. And due to this brisk swimming, their muscles got strengthened and they had a better blood circulation. All the fish were very active till they reached the destination, and it was the secret of its taste. Yes, my dear participants, we too need predators fish in our life, attackers in our working place. The motivator may be your department head. I'm sorry, I'm not telling them as a hard persons. They are really motivators. And your principal, your headmaster, or an appraisal for a promotion, as it is clearly mentioned in the NAP 2020, for a promotion or increment, you thank the predators in your container, wherever you are. Thank your predators in your container. They are the motivating factors for your life lift up and the secret of your success. I request all the participants to use your headsets. I'm going to play a short video for you. India has the most students number in the world. You, the school teachers and college teachers, control the entire education system of India. The future leaders are in your classroom. India's destiny is in your classroom. Come on, raise up. Be augmented with all required skills needed for this present world, the present and the future generation. Don't take rest. This is not the time to take rest. Give your best. If you have faith in God, believe Him. Keep hopes in the heart and move forward and make bundle of success. Never ever give it up. Never ever give it up. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witness, let us throw off everything that hinders and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Thank you. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you very much. I thank Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, the respected Vice Chancellor, and my special thanks to Dr. Sivashakti Rajamma for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The excellent lesson, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Evangeline, for the profound talk about augmentation of next generation teaching.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
In fact, ma'am, the areas that you've talked about are very deep. Maybe your world of experience is what made this session much more beneficial to each one of us.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Just a quick reminder to the audience that if you have any questions, please use hand raise option in Zoom and Dr. Shivashakti will add you as panelist. I also request audience to keep their video on while they ask their question to make it more interactive. Before we proceed further to the questions, let's quickly invite Ms. Dharanya to give her valuable feedback on the session. Over to you, Dharanya.
Good evening to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to share my feedback on the topic, augmentation of next generation teachers. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for your enormous speech. I inspired by your words.
Thank you.
The thing you expressed is exemplary, ma'am. Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me, said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Ma'am, through this session, we learned how to teach the students in the classroom by applying these innovative methodologies. We assure you, ma'am, we use the classroom time effectively and creatively by applying these methodologies and techniques in our teaching as you have taught in this session.
I appreciate. I highly appreciate.
Thank you. We motivate the students to set their goal to succeed in their life, and we impart the essential skills for the future. Teaching is the one profession that creates all other professions. Future generation of the world is in the hands of teachers. Keeping that in mind, we work hard and for shaping the better future for the students. Through this session, we have to learn how to engage students, empower and motivate the future generation. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
It inspired and motivated us to be a good teacher. We build a good generation by applying these methodologies, and we enhance the performance of the students. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience, expertise, and spending valuable time with us. We are very proud to have you as a part of our program as a well-wisher, ma'am. I thank our management for organizing this international conference. Once again, I thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. My special thanks to Dr. Ravi Govindaraj also. Right from the beginning, he is with us, and I really appreciate, sir, you spend all the time with us today, and I really highly appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your presence here.
Thank you very much. Maybe I'll take this momentum before any other participants, give their feedback. It's not the sandstorm over here in Gulf countries or across the globe. It's an informative storm, around us for the past about 90 to 120 minutes time. Thank you very much to you. Augmented teacher, how to become an augmented teacher when we talk about, wow, what a time this topic has come over here. I really thank the entire team, the people behind, and you being a trainer. Wow, the challenge. We don't consider our all these issues as a problem, and we have to convert this as an opportunity. We have to assume it in that way. The shark which is there in the fish bowl keeps the other fishes alive, which makes more tasty when they transport, when they do the activities. The shark, like the corona, it has become a shark for us. Yes. To make us more powerful, learning many technologies, all the aspects.
Absolutely. So, absolutely.
I hope I learned a lot from you and in the right way. One of the participants, in the question and answer zone, he has mentioned what is it a replacement of is it replace the role of a teacher by technology? Yes. The teacher has to be there in all the way. It is not that only the students have to learn. Even we who are teachers, trainers, coaches who are there in that field, teaching field, we are also supposed to be educated ourselves. Yesterday, one of the sessions, I learned, I attended a dream teacher session. There also, it is something like that. The current world, which is also teaching the parents, not only the students, like in the past. Now, good parenting session has been implemented in the, across the globe. Similar way, these kind of a good teachers or good trainer session are also really appreciated and awesome session, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for a good opportunity to all of you, all the team over us behind the success. Madam Rupa, very well started. And Dharanya, very nice. Starting from the beginning till the end, I forgot about myself. Thank you so much. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Beautiful words. We appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, Dharanya, for your valuable feedback. And let's call upon Ms. Amana to give her valuable feedback on the session.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation and thank you very much for this opportunity. Ma'am, your session was amazing, especially the example of a predator fish. It is really a positive motivation for all of us at this time. And thank you so much for letting us know about all the tools which are available. I am an online tutor and a content developer, and I have grown from using a very plain whiteboard to all the available facilities these days. And if I can do it, anyone can definitely do it. And when I first started out, I didn't know about anything. But slowly, I came to know about everything after learning and researching about all these topics and to effectively present what I wanted to teach to students. And your session has reminded me of a very good home or a society scenario where a child, if he or she wants anything, will definitely get it. Because, for example, if a child goes home and says, Mom, I'm hungry, and if the mother, even if she doesn't have anything at home, she will somehow be able to cook something and feed her child. The same way, if the child goes to her father and says, I need something and I don't have the facilities, the father will definitely be able to help out in some way, whether it is some method he knows or somehow he'll be able to help out. Similarly, reaching out to siblings and friends, they will able to help out in whatever way they can, and they will be able to help the child grow further as well. So in this way, we all have taken the first step in joining the series to share and learn whatever we know and to learn from others as well. And this is the first step for us in our learning journey to make things better, even despite this harsh situation. And I thank Dr. Evangeline Whitehead for presenting this amazing topic in such an informative way, and the entire panel who has arranged for these talks and this webinar. Thank you very much, and the panelists and the participants who have stayed with us all this for the series. Thank you very much. Good evening and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Amana. That was a learned feedback. Well, moving on to, there are a few questions from the audience that have come in. So let's begin with them. So since Ravi sir already mentioned one of the questions and ma'am was able to understand that part, I would like to repeat. There are a lot of questions in the same line. So the first question that I want to express is, how can we teachers enhance positive attitude and thoughts among future trainees?
So they would like to give training to the future trainees?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All these things are discussed in this paper, in this presentation. They have to first thorough about the subject knowledge on the objectives, what they are really focusing on, and also they should analyze the mentality of their students or learners. I nowadays stop saying teachers and students. We are all really facilitators and they are all learners. Okay, so they have, according to the mood, according to their knowledge of understanding, individually they have to teach.
Thank you so much, Dr. Evangeline. The next question goes, how to fill the gap between teachers who are not tech savvy and students who are tech savvy?
What is that? I don't understand.
Okay. He is asking how
Okay.
to fill the gap between students who are actually more technically
Yes. Yeah, okay.
And teachers who are not actually technically upfront.
Okay, that I told you now, we are all migrants, so we have to learn and adapt. It's all the passion and interest of the teacher. We didn't know about computer. We didn't read anything through mobile and all these things. And this generation teachers, the migrant teachers are like that. I'm a migrant. Okay, so we learn one by one what is needed for that particular classroom. The teachers should be equipped and knowledgeable to handle some tools. So this is everywhere. We cannot find a solution in 1 day or 1 hour. The teachers has to be developed. They have to be developed in their knowledge.
Thank you, ma'am. And here goes the next question. How cost effective can AR be in schools? Basically in India, how can it be cost effective? How much can it be?
Cost or cast?
Cost. Price. How much, the question goes, how cost effective is it in India when you talk about AR? How cost effective is it for Indian schools? There are a lot of rural schools.
AR means you say about augmented reality matters?
Yes.
Or yeah, you have very simple tools and the teachers can use these tools for the classroom purpose. Very, very effectively they can do it. It is not cost effective. It's not cost effective.
Oh.
There are many number of very simple tools available.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Since, I just
tools,
want to repeat.
I mean, many free tools are available. They can download it, but I don't say that they can manage their classrooms with their mobile phones. Definitely, they should have a laptop and they can download these free tools and they can do wonderful augmented reality. It's not cost effective. It's very, very simple, very free of cost.
Thank you, ma'am. Since we are way past our schedule, so let's wrap up the today's session with the last question from any of the panelists, if they would like to. All right, ma'am, I would go ahead and proceed with the last question for you.
Yes.
It says, what are the limitations in usage of augmented reality or in classrooms, basically? How easy is it, convenient is it in classrooms?
So many new mobiles are inbuilt with this augmented effect. Okay, you can simply switch on and you might have seen in many YouTube videos, some teachers brought the space and they brought elephants, and for kids it's really very good to have some kind of for using it as an interaction. They can use it in higher classes. It is very useful one. Yeah.
First day only inauguration no Sunday. So first day only time will change. I ask our VC and consult him. Suppose VC will come, so
Shakti ma'am,
convenient.
your audio is on, ma'am.
Only we will fix ma'am. And second
Ma'am.
onwards 4:30 to 4:30 p.m. to.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for the answering all the questions. And now that it's been quite past the time, I would like to call upon Ms. Bhagavati to propose the vote of thanks right now to Dr. Evangeline and the others.
Good evening, one and all present here. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parents of all others. On behalf of St. Charles College of Education, it gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on this wonderful session. It is our proud privilege to have such an eminent personality among us a resource person. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our most respectable resource person, Dr. Evangeline Whitehead, Associate Professor, Department of English Language, Princess Noor bin Abdul Rahman University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Your session was very interesting, ma'am. Thank you very much for your generosity in your sharing your knowledge and empowering each of us. Thank you for giving awareness on national education policy and taught us how to manage our skills in the classroom. Thank you once again, ma'am. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. We extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief patron, Panchanatham, Vice Chancellor, TNTU Chennai, for his great support, and the patron, Reverend Sister Amalie Anbarasi, Provincial EP Chennai, and founder of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai, and Mr. Pradeep Antony, co-founder and CEO, who have blessed us with their presence. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. Our co-patrons, Professor Balakrishnan, Registrar, TNTU, Chennai. Reverend Sister Sabina Jose, Secretary, St. Charles College of Education, and Leo Fernandez, co-founder and CEO. Talentees, India. Without your presence, this conference would not be possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Giving thanks for a little and you will find a lot. We are grateful to our conveners, Govindan, Dean of Faculty, Controller of Examination, TNTU, Chennai, and Reverend Sister Mary Catherine, Student Counselor, SCCE, Madurai, and Ms. Ramona Vishwanathan, Director, Talentees, India, for making this webinar grand success. We much obliged to our organizing secretaries, Dr. Shivashakti Rajamal, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, TNTU. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your unflinching love and support. Dr. Vayadurai, Principal of St. Charles College of Education, Madurai, and Ms. Ain Talentees, India. Thank you for the grand success of the conference. Giving is an expression of gratitude for our blessings. Thanks a million to the member of TNTU, SCCE, and Talentees for their collaboration for the international online conference. I would like to thank all the participants for overwhelming support to make this conference a grand success. Once again, thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bhagavati. Very well spoken. And of course, something must end for something to begin. Therefore, before we call it a day, let me quickly give you a reminder about tomorrow's schedule. Well, tomorrow we have again at 4:30. Tomorrow's session will be on the topic NEO Enhanced Learning Trajectory for Teachers by Reverend Father Jefferson Suresh from Sri Lanka, starting at 4:30 p.m. And please don't miss it. That's going to be a wonderful session as well. Thank you once again for joining us this evening. And this is Rupa Togru signing off.
Thank you, Ruba ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dharanya. Thank you, Dr. Evangeline ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Thanks
Mrs.
a lot.
Sabina sister, thank you so much. Sister Catherine, thank you so much. Dr. Ravi Govindaraj, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Romana madam, thank you so much.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Vayaduri sir, thank you so much. Thank you all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
Thank you once again.
Dr. Evangeline, it was a wonderful session.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, sister.
We're
Thanks a
happy
lot.
to have you. It was a really amazing one.
My pleasure too, sister. My pleasure too.
The PPT is very informative, ma'am. I learned some lot of things from you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Bhagavati Ammal, thank you so much. You also, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
For the example of predator fish, it is a very reflective information for all the teachers. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sister. Thanks a lot.
Once again, thank you all the panelists and participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sister Saleh, wind up the session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.